I don't know. Probably some of the new people. Probably this man. Hayden, is that who you're going to say? Hayden has improved. I think anybody that puts attention to something will improve it. I feel like everybody is pretty much. Who do you feel like, Josh? Who struggles? It should be. Well, it should be one of the new people.
They have no idea.
That's exactly right. Have they even applied? Have they even? If you've got a head start on building the commitment muscles, they shouldn't even be close to anybody. Who do you feel like struggles the most, Noah? Yep.
Definitely one of the new people.
Yeah.
No, I tell you who. I do.
Okay. Well, but the new people shouldn't be offended that we single you out and say, "Hey, dude, you suck with commitment," because you're really paying attention to something that's new in the terms that we do it. Good morning, everybody. It's Take a Tour Tuesday. We're going to give a big shout. When is next week?
Yeah.
Well, I know that's kind of a secret, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Say it, Van. Meow. Do your best cat meow, Van. Meow. Not going to let the old cat out of the bag. So this morning we start every show with 60 seconds of gratitude. You know what I'm thankful for right now, Josh?
What?
It's been about a month, almost a month, since the vet said we had to put Lucky down. And the man is still, he's not surviving and thriving, but he is surviving. And we still get to see the guy. He still has a big smile. He still wags that little nub. He still is in a good mood. He's struggling, but he is still there. And we've got this new guy, Jax, this new little dog that, my wife's got the frowny face. But I'm thankful that we got this new dog, and Lucky has kind of mentored Jax for the last 3 weeks. You know, Jax is 9 years old, so he's been around Lucky for a third of his life. So hopefully one of these days, Jax will be like a Lucky. How many dogs do I have in my house right now? Do you remember?
2.
How many dogs are in my house?
1.
One. Are you paying attention? Shit. There's only one dog in our house right now. Who is it? Lucky. This new guy don't even exist yet in my mind. My wife is babying him. You're like getting up in the middle of the night, going in there, and what are you laughing at?
He tried to poke out that door.
Don't let him out, Josh, whatever you do. So, if you do me a favor, when you're on here, like, comment, and share the stream. The purpose of this show is to become more known, number one, but I like to talk about life, business, finance. Have y'all been here when I've talked about relationships and personal growth? I talk about that quite often. Today's show topic is, how do you dig yourself out of a shitty situation? How do you dig yourself out of rock bottom? What are you doing over there? You're like in a daze over there. If you've ever been at a rock bottom place in your life, put in the comments, I've been rock bottom, or rock bottom to you. Now, my wife does have Ladies Trivia Night tonight at the Social Exchange. If you're a lady, Josh, you can't go. Liliana, you can go. Any of your ladies, you can go to my wife's place at the Social Exchange, and I think it'll be a very fun time tonight. Be there about 6:45. So we've got a lot of people. I've been at rock bottom. Brittany, Liliana, Amanda, rock bottom many times. How do you know you're at rock bottom? I've been at rock. Have you been at rock bottom? What was your rock bottom? How old are you?
24.
What was rock bottom? Were you strung out on drugs?
No.
Break up? You ever had your heart broken?
Not really, just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
But what was rock bottom? How do you know you could describe it officially as this shit's rock bottom? Broke. There could be worse than broke.
It could be worse.
Josh, have you ever hit rock bottom? You're 20 years old.
Hell yeah.
How have you hit rock bottom? What is your rock
I
bottom?
looked at a past action, and I was disgusted. I was like, damn, that's low. That's real low.
That's rock. Have you ever been at rock bottom? Like what?
Like when I was a single mom
That was rock bottom.
and I didn't have a job.
Well, let me tell you, I was with somebody in the last. I'm not going to give away any clue of the person, but I was with somebody and they're in a tough spot right now. And if you pay attention, it's usually three things I feel like that is your rock bottom. It could be money, it could be a relationship, or it could be your health. Those are things that you feel like I'm helpless. This sucks. This particular person, not saying if it was a lady or a man, was going through a breakup. He was going through they were going through some rough personal problems. And whenever you're going through rough personal issues, what do you think you focus on?
Those issues.
You can't escape it. It's just like I'm dialed in on all these little things that suck in my life. And all I have the energy, all I have the passion to do right now is to continue to focus on this. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but at 35 years old, I was involved in a bad relationship, just a straight up fucking whore. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on there, but that's how I felt about it. And that was probably the truth. Pardon my language, Zillow. But whenever I was around this person, bad things just continue to happen. How many of you have been in a bad spot and there's like one person that's right there with you?
Yep.
It's just always this. So whoever you're really hanging around, you make sense of doing things because you're allowing them to be around you and you're really thinking the same way. So at 35 years old, this person, I allowed myself to get into a little trouble. Came home one night, a little drunk, hit a door, went to jail over hitting a door. And I was very humiliated by it. At 35 years old, we were also going through the worst real estate collapse in history. It was terrible. It was so bad. The only way we could really sell homes back then were short sales and foreclosures. 38% of sales back then were distressed sales. That means if you had a listing back then, it was harder to get rid of than finding a buyer a $200,000 house right now. Just couldn't sell it. The only way you could sell it is by short selling the payoff. That meant if you owed $200,000, we'd have to sell this thing for $165,000 and get the bank to allow that to happen. And that process, it took 9 months, a year and a half. I mean, so the sales cycles back in those days took forever. So I'm dealing with this huge personal problem. I'm very embarrassed. I went to jail. I had to do anger management. Has anybody ever had to do a little anger management? You've had to do one?
Been there, yeah.
I had to do it, and I would have to go report into my probation officer. Like, I think it was once a week for maybe, I can't remember how long it was. But I was sitting in there, and you're in a room that's like, is about as big as this whole building back there, and you're sitting there and you're waiting for them to call your name out over the loudspeaker. Tommy Davidson. And then I've got to walk through. Now, back then, I was a nobody. I was 35 years old. Nobody knew who I was. So I'm walking up, and then they tell you where to go, and then they go in there, and this what are they called? Your probation officers. They don't give a shit about you or what's going on. They ask you the same three questions. Do you still have your job? Same address, blah, 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 go. Then some days they're going to be like, hey, you got to pee in this cup. So that was not a problem for me, but this was a stretch of my life from January to May where it was such a rock bottom period for me. I was financially broken, literally. I had so many bill collectors calling me. Imagine this. Imagine if Zillow was bill collectors looking for me. Getting a Zillow call. Hey, can I speak to Tommy Davidson? A lot of that kind of stuff. Couldn't speak English. Bill collectors from another country. Is Tommy Davidson there? Is your aunt and your aunt calling looking for me? Good morning, Cecilia. There were so many bill collectors calling the office. Nobody wanted to answer the phone. I had probably a car note past due. I had a credit line past due. I probably had 3 or 4 credit cards past due. I had 5 house payments that were all behind. Imagine how relentless the pursuit of me. I was Jesse James. They wanted me. Student loans, 35 years old, still had to pay student loans. Bless you. So imagine where my self-image was. The worst thing I could do back then was avoid them. I felt like I'd feel better about myself if I'd look down another 800 number, look at it, wouldn't answer it. So today, if I know it's a bill collector calling you, I'm gonna tell you to answer it, man. Go ahead and just confront it. Tell them, hey, I can't pay you right now. I can give you this, or I can give you a little bit. But I just went into complete, like a hole, hiding. And I did that for like 5 months. And then my name was in the newspaper back then. If you were going into foreclosure, they'd run it in the newspaper. I never lost any of those houses, but I lost a lot of pride because everybody saw Thomas C. Davidson in the old foreclosure notice. My banker, hey man, I saw your name in there. How you doing? Not good. But I got to this point in my life where I was literally rock bottom. Here's what rock bottom looks like. Rock bottom for me was when I decided I no longer care about what's going on outside of me. I no longer care about the external Tommy. The only thing I committed to at that time was internal Tommy. And everything that I teach you guys, or I want you to learn, the whole purpose of it is, how can I help you guys grow your self-esteem? How can we get a lift of your self-worth? How can I get you to always feel better about yourself? And I just took me back there whenever my buddy, not saying if it was a man or a woman. Do you know if it was a man or a woman?
Not sure.
You shouldn't. I'm doing a good job. But he was going through something, and it's hard. But I was telling him, let me tell you something, man. These are times that suck. But if you can get your focus on you, like getting everything dialed in on who you are and what you want to become, this can be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. The worst thing was me going to jail. The worst thing was that girl put me through hell. That was the worst thing that happened to me, but the best thing that came out of that was Good Time Tommy. That's when I made this decision. This ain't who I am. I've got to somehow rehabilitate this person inside of me. And I don't know if Tommy can do this himself. So I moved over to this Good Time Tommy person. I didn't even know who he was or what he meant yet, but I was moving into the future about where I wanted to get to. And you'll never do something unless you're trying to solve a problem. 35 years old, broke. I thought when I was Josh's age, how old are you?
24.
24. When I was y'all's age, I thought at 35 years old, I'm on my way, I'm set. It ain't going to look like this. My life at 35 was like this wake-up call. I tell you guys, Tim Dutton told me, dude, you're running out of time. You want all these things, but you're literally running out of time, man. This is the best time of your life that you can earn money, and you suck. Those were the first time in my life I felt like, dude, you got to make some changes. So if you're going through the worst time of your life, or you've already gone through this worst time of your life, or the worst time of your life is coming, I believe there's a reason. There is something out there that you can turn this mess into this message that's going to attract people to you. So I was just thinking about my buddy this morning and yesterday, and I was thinking about, this is such a unique opportunity to get dialed in, to get clear on what you want. Do you know what you want?
Not really.
See, I got clear at 37, 38 years old what I wanted. I was following at 35, 36, but at 37, I started figuring things out. Hey, I know what I want now. I know what I want. And what I found is the only way I'm going to get there is if I become better, if my skills, at building my brand, I had to improve these areas. And every single day, I put attention to getting better. And I was telling you guys yesterday, I don't know if some of you are here, but some of you are starting and then you're stopping and then you're restarting and then you're stopping. You're never getting enough momentum. Think of this. Are you a pilot?
Negative.
Well, imagine if you were a pilot and we're going down the runway and about every 50 feet you turn the engine off, hit the brakes, then start it back.
It's not going to work out.
Well, how can you expect your life to work out without this momentum? How many of you are concentrating every single day on walking out, walking home, or walking in the door, getting around your family and feel like, today I got a little bit better. I just got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. That's why you need to continue to do these things. And if my buddy will start to focus on improving his life, what he's going through will get smaller and smaller and smaller. But most people, when they're going through this, all they can do is obsess in the moment. All they can do is talk about, you were going through a little breakup not long ago. You're trying to talk about it a lot. Whatever you pay attention to just grows up. It just gets bigger. You blow it up. Most people can't condition themselves. Whenever I am a negative person, but I can quickly move off of negativity and move to a solution just by controlling what I'm going to think about, what I'm going to put power to. So today, I wanted you to have a little message, just a little message of your thoughts. What you force yourself to think about, what you force yourself to pay attention to, will be the way you will improve your life. Von Grafton, shut us down.